Welcome to the Johnson Collection, New England Patriots radio broadcasts from 1985 through 2026. This broadcast is a collection of radio highlights of the 1985 AFC Championship season of your New England Patriots. Originally run throughout the week on News Radio 590 WEEI, they were compiled together as part of the pregame show for Super Bowl XX, played on January 26, 1986 at the New Orleans Superdome. Your host is Bob Melvin.
Welcome to WEEI's Super Bowl XX pregame show, The Road to the Battle of New Orleans, a review of the 1985 New England Patriots championship season, sponsored in part by the Deerskin Trading Post. Now, here's Bob Melvin.
It's the pro football version of the impossible dream season here in New England. The Patriots, with their quarter century of checkered history, have finally reached the pinnacle of NFL success, an AFC championship and a berth in Super Bowl XX. Indeed, this season for New England has gone from one of uncertainty in July under first full-year head coach Raymond Berry to where defensive architect Rod Russ says the Patriots players are certain they can bump off the Chicago Bears.
I think our players expect to win. Their whole attitude toward playing the game is positive. It's a real credit to them, and I think it's a huge credit to Raymond Berry that he's instilled this in them.
You cannot talk about the Patriots' success story in 1985 without mentioning Raymond Berry in the same breath. He is atypical as an NFL head coach. He's outwardly calm with a very low-key personality. But he is an NFL Hall of Famer, knows winning football, and has translated that missing link knowledge to his talented group of Patriots players. Berry has gone from a first-year let's-see-what-happens coach in July to the Super Bowl in January. While instituting a new offense, Berry had what he thought would be a superior defense under coordinator Rod Russ.
They have been playing very consistent from the very beginning, and that has been a real encouraging development, right going back to training camp. I think the development of our young defensive backs has been one of the biggest positives so far this year. The development of some of our young defensive linemen has been right along with it, and of course with the veteran linebackers that we do have, and keeping them healthy has been, and they're operating this defensive system now for, third or fourth year in a row, which is a big plus, and they're playing very, very fine football.
That's the now familiar understatement of Ray Berry. He also is the man responsible for instituting ball stripping, fumble recovery, and pass deflection drills in practice that in 3 playoff games resulted in a total of 16 turnovers, leading to the majority of Patriots points in those victories. The Patriots' 1985 season has been a roller coaster ride to success. Question marks in training camp, a new offensive system, Ken Sims, development of a defensive line rush that had been absent in most recent seasons. And yes, even though it seems strange to say so now, how well Raymond Berry would do in his first full season as head coach here. Ahead, the preseason would prove suspect, a 1-3 record. Then an opening day win over Green Bay, tempered by a 2-3 record in the first 5 weeks. The loss of Eason, the 6-game win streak under Grogan, the loss of Grogan, the season-long battle to keep offensive linemen intact, the final 5-week drive for playoff contention that brought 3 wins and 2 heartbreaking losses, and that finale at home versus the Bengals that meant a wild-card entry in the postseason. After 3 playoff road victories, an NFL record, and the AFC title, a berth in Super Bowl XX. Guard Ron Wooten sums up one of the big intangibles regarding the Pats' success.
After we beat the Jets, nobody had any doubts anymore about what we could do. So that's been a big factor in winning. Nobody was uptight before the game. We went out there and we were loose, just like it was an exhibition game, and executed.
This review of the Patriots' 1985 AFC Championship season continues with a look at the August exhibition schedule when the road to the Battle of New Orleans continues. Ironically enough, the 1985 Patriots season opens with New Orleans here, and the season will close with the Patriots down there. Of course, the Bears will be the opposition at the Superdome, not, believe me, the Saints. The Saints were here, though, for the season's first exhibition game August 10th. The Pats lost it 32-20. The defense was not obviously in sync yet, and the running game wasn't either. But this day, Tony Eason's arm was. On this TD pass to Stanley the Steamer Morgan, as called by WEEI's John Carlson.
Second and 10 at their own 35-yard line, 2 minutes left first half, and they trail by 20. Eason throws it deep down the right sideline, and that one is caught for a touchdown. Stanley Morgan holds it in for a touchdown, 35 yards worth.
Eason also hit Derwin Williams on a TD, plus Tony Franklin's 2 field goals. 32-20, though, Saints, in New England's first exhibition game of '85, an inauspicious start to what would turn out to be the Patriots' greatest season in history. The Patriots' second preseason game was played at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City against the Chiefs, a convincing 31-13 triumph for New England. Mosi Tutupu displayed his short yardage capabilities of this contest with 3 touchdowns, 2 from 1 yard out, and a 2-yard run. Here's the second of those 3 scores by Mosi. In the second quarter, it proved to be, along with Tony Franklin's PAT, the winning point.
Patriots are but a yard away from another touchdown. Split backfield now behind Tony Eason. 3rd down, goal to go from the 1 on the turn. The handoff, and it is not yet signaled a touchdown. The Patriots are saying yes, it is a touchdown. Inside is Mosi Tutupu holding on to the ball. If they signal touchdown, Mosi Tutupu rolling in on the left side, burrowed his way through. A large pack of players there seemed to be in the way, and finally, TD. Patriots put 6 more on the board. It's 13-3.
WEEI's John Carlson on the call. Franklin added a 41-yard field goal, and Rod McSwain a 48-yard interception return to round out New England's scoring. The Chiefs had to settle for Nick Lowry's field goals of 50 and 52 yards, and a final quarter Todd Blackledge to Walt Arnold touchdown pass. The Pats 31, the Chiefs 13. New England now even at 1-1 in August exhibition play as the team continued to analyze its personnel. The third of 4 exhibition games took place at RFK Stadium August 23rd against the Washington Redskins. It was a wild offensive show, 73 total points scored, the Skins pulling out a 1-point victory, 37-36. Washington came back from deficits 3 times against the Pats, twice in the final quarter to win it. In preseason, the Pats were loaded with talent at the wide receiver and special skills positions. This was the last big play in a New England uniform for Robert Weathers' brother, Clarence, and it was a dandy.
Weathers takes it at the 32-yard line, cuts to the left. He's looking for running room on the left, coming up over the 35, the 40, the 45 midfield. He's down to the 40 of the Redskins, down to the 30, cuts inside of the 25, to the 20, 15, 10. He's going to go down at the 7-yard line. Clarence Weathers with a terrific run back, taken down by Greg Williams at the 7-yard line to save a touchdown. And it was a 61-yard return for Clarence Weathers of the Patriots. First down and goal to go, New England.
A few days later, Clarence Weathers would be cut in favor of retaining the taller Derwin Williams. Weathers would be picked up by Cleveland and have a fine season at wide receiver, helping his new team to the AFC Central title. Meanwhile, Irving Fryer would return punts in '85 for New England and have an all-pro season doing so. Against the Skins, Steve Grogan ran for 1 TD, passed to Cedric Jones for another. Mosi Tutupu ran in from 5 yards out, and Tony Franklin booted 5 field goals. The Patriots' final preseason game, their 3rd straight on the road, took place at Anaheim Stadium against the Rams. Unlike the week prior, this was a defensive struggle, the Rams winning it 14-13. This game indeed was unusual. L.A. led 14-3 at the half. New England's defense shutting the Rams down completely in the second half, led by linebacker Andre Tippett, while the Patriots' offense rallied in the final 2 quarters. Tony Franklin, his second field goal in the 3rd period, 14-6. Tony Eason, 10 yards to Robert Weathers, 14-13. Then on the final drive and final play of the game, the Pats had a shot at pulling it up. Here's WEEI's John Carlson and John Morris.
So here it is, 34-yard attempt by Tony Franklin, who's 9 for 9. Scratching the 44-yard attempt that was scratched a little while ago. Here's his hit off the snap. It's downfield, and it is good. Tony Franklin puts it through, but a penalty marker is down on the field.
And I think it's against the Patriots. I can't believe it, but I think it's against the Patriots.
Don Blackman.
And it's a big one, too. It could be holding.
It is.
Which will take them. This will make it now a 44-yard field goal.
55, offense, last play of the game. The field goal's no good. The game's over.
Remember that strange ending? Well, Don Blackman would go on to a great season from there. But that loss by the Patriots to the Rams ended a 1-3 preseason against 2 teams who would have poor seasons in the Saints and Chiefs, a team that just missed the playoffs in the Redskins, and the narrowest of losses to the NFC West champion Rams. I'm Bob Melvin. The road to the Battle of New Orleans continues with the start of the Patriots' 1985 regular season in just a moment. New England's 16-game regular season opened at home against the Green Bay Packers. The Pats jumped out to a 26-6 lead by the fourth quarter, then hung on for a 26-20 triumph. Tony Collins ran 11 yards to pay dirt. Don Blackman registered a safety. Tony Eason connected with Cedric Jones on a TD pass, and Tony Franklin booted a field goal, 19-6 at halftime. After a scoreless third period, New England put the game away on this long run from scrimmage.
Strong left formation. Eason pitch comes back right side. Look at that move by James over the 45 to 50. He's flying to the 40. He looks like he may go all the way. He's down to 20 to 15 to 10. Down to 5. Craig James. Touchdown. 65 yards for the touchdown.
Now, moves like that by James would be seen all year long as he became the second leading single-season rusher in Patriots history, 1,227 yards, plus more than 100 yards in each of 3 playoff victories. One other major note in this win over the Packers, starting tackle Darrell Haley could not sustain play, losing his summer-long battle with colitis, an illness that would sideline the big man all of 1985. His place was taken by Steve the House Moore.
The Johnson Collection.
The story in Game 2 of the regular season unfolded at Soldier Field, Chicago. Against the team the Patriots will meet again on January 26th, the Bears. This first meeting in September, though, was all Bears. Chicago's talented and very aggressive defense against a struggling New England offense. Jim McMahon hit Dennis McKinnon, his wide receiver, with a 32-yard TD pass in the opening period. Kevin Butler added a field goal in the second quarter that would prove to be the winning points, 10-0 at the half. Matsui ran in from 1 yard out, and Butler added his second field goal of the afternoon in the third period, and the Bears had it all sealed up, 20-0. A lone score of the final period prevented the Patriots from being shut out, and it was a bomb.
Here are the Patriots, 1st and 10 in their own 10. Again, a case of poor field position. And Tony Eason's got to work from there against the 4-man front. He's back, looking, pulls the trigger deep down the middle. This one is complete. He's got Craig James on the run, down to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
90 yards on that beauty. Hopefully the Pats can pick up in New Orleans where they left off in Chicago against the Bears. But on the second week of the regular season, the Bears won the first encounter 20-7. New England now 1-1 on the regular season. On September 22nd, the Patriots traveled to Orchard Park, New York, to face AFC East Division foe Buffalo. It was an uninspiring win, 17-14, but a victory nonetheless over the hapless Bills. New England had a 10-7 halftime lead thanks to a Tony Franklin 33-yard field goal and a Craig James option pass to Tony Collins. The game-winning score in the second half came on this electrifying punt return as called by WEEI's John Carlson.
Fryer backs up, takes it to the 15-yard line, starts to the right, looking for a block. He's up over the 20, 25, cuts through over the 30, down to the 40. He's at midfield. He's on the fly, down the right sideline. Look out, I think he's going to go all the way, the 15, the 10, 5. There's Irving Fryer running it all the way for a touchdown. 85 yards for Irving Fryer.
That established Fryer as a real threat in 1985 and began his journey to selection as the AFC Pro Bowl punt returner. The Patriots, with that tight win over the Bills, now 2-1 on the season. But bad news lay straight ahead. The rival Raiders were at Sullivan Stadium on the final Sunday in September. It was not a pleasant fall day in Foxborough. The Patriots made a game of it in the first half and, in fact, led 20-14 at halftime, thanks to 2 very exciting plays, one by the offense.
Easton takes the snap. He's back deep, steps up in the cup, steps, and now fires. He's got a receiver, completed the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Irving Fryer, as the Patriots pull one out of the hat on 3rd and 5, a 40-yard touchdown play.
And one by the defense.
Ray Guy, a 53-yard punt, the first time he hit one today, and it was a beauty. His second one, 54. Irving Fryer is deep. Let's see how he does this time. Through his hands, Guy is running back for the ball. Pressure, Patriots have it. It's picked up, and here goes Andre Tippett into the end zone with a touchdown.
But Lyle Alzato's fumble recovery, a TD in the end zone in the third quarter, won it. Mark Wilson's short TD pass to Todd Christensen and Sam Seal's interception return, also in the final period, iced it. In all, a bad game for Eason, intercepted 3 times with 2 TD returns by Seal and by Lester Hayes. 35-20 Raiders. The Pats now 2-2 on the year, but on a January afternoon at the LA Coliseum, New England would return the favor in spades. In Week 5, the Patriots traveled to Municipal Stadium to face the Browns. Cleveland was struggling at this point, as were the Pats. The game went back and forth, but the Patriots did manage to take the lead in the third quarter on this play. Again, John Carlson.
Ball on the Cleveland 22-yard line. Eason is calling out to the right side of his formation. Crowd is starting to give him a problem. Sets his club, takes the snap. Here's Eason back looking to throw. Fires right sideline, and it is touchdown, Stanley Morgan.
That made it 20-17 Pats, but Cleveland came back to win it in the final period on a 10-yard Kevin Mack TD run. The final was 24-20 Browns, a most disappointing loss by New England. For a second straight game, they could not hold a lead in the second half of play. The Patriots now stood at 2-3, headed really nowhere in particular. However, after the Browns' loss in the Patriots locker room, linebacker Andre Tippett threw a fit, going on a verbal tirade admonishing his mates to display their talent, character, and heart the rest of the season. In short, be winners. The speech would sink in. New England turns its season around. That's next when this review of the 1985 Patriots AFC Championship year continues on WEEI Super Bowl 20 pregame show. Did I say Andre Tippett's post-game speech after the Cleveland loss sunk in with his teammates? Well, it did, but you would not have known that from New England's play offensively in the first half of Game 6 at home against the Bills. No scoring in the first quarter. Then in the second period, quarterback Tony Eason, suffering through a very rough season to this point, suffered even more. He was sacked and did not get up. A shoulder separation. It meant a 7-week absence. Quarterbacking chores now rested with a benched veteran, Steve Grogan, who had not started a game in over a full season, 18 games to be exact. In the second half against Buffalo, Grogan found the touch and connected on what proved to be the game-winning score. Here's John Carlson.
Here is Grogan, medium drop, fires to the end zone, and that one is touchdown, Irving Fryer.
A 16-yard strike. In the final period, Raymond Claiborne returned a Vince Ferragamo interception into the end zone, and New England walked off the field with a 14-3 triumph and a 3-3 record. The Patriots entertained another AFC East Division opponent in Week 7. The Jets came to town with a 5-game win streak, their only season loss a shellacking to open the year at the hands of the L.A. Raiders. Andre Tippett was a demon on defense in this game and the star of the game, but he had to share that role with a rejuvenated quarterback, Steve Grogan. In this defensive battle, the Pats led at the half 6-3 on a pair of Tony Franklin field goals. Pat Leahy tied it in the third quarter. Early in the final period, Grogan connected with Irving Fryer on a 34-yard strike right down the middle. 13-6. But Tony Page's TD run brought the Jets back into a tie at 13-all. Grogan, though, had an old trick up his sleeve. Right, John Carlson?
Fryer is right, Morgan is left, split backfield behind Grogan, strong right formation, and Grogan holds on to it, quarterback sneak around the left side, a keeper play, Grogan scores. Steve Grogan fakes into the line and rolls out to the left side with the ball on his hip, and he went the final 3 yards. The Patriots retake the lead.
That bootleg keeper by Grogan won it for New England 20-13 over the Jets. The Patriots concluded the first half of regular season play in Tampa, Florida against the inept Buccaneers. The locals came away with a 32-14 victory, coming back, I say again, coming back from a 14-point first quarter deficit to the Bucs. They did it in the second quarter on 2 Tony Franklin field goals and a Craig James 11-yard option pass to Tony Collins. At halftime, though, Tampa Bay still clung to a 1-point lead, 14-13. That was taken care of with the lone tally of the third quarter, another Franklin field goal, 16-14 New England. In the final quarter, the Pats pounded away. Craig James, an 8-yard TD run, and James again.
First down, Patriots have the ball just inside the 23. Call it the 22, first and 10, New England. Split backfield behind Grogan, strong right, pitch comes back to James, cutting back up on the inside over the 15, the 10, the 5. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Craig James. The Patriots are putting this one away with 5:21 left in the game. It's 29-14.
The final points came from the defense on a tackle by Don Blackman in the end zone for a safety. 32-14, Pats over the Bucs. New England now on a 3-game roll. Miami came to Foxborough November 3rd to start the second half of regular season action. At this point, the Don Shula Dolphins were, pardon the expression, floundering at 5-3, while the Patriots were finding themselves also at 5-3, both clubs a game off the pace of the Jets in the AFC East race. Miami held a 13-3 lead going into the fourth quarter, and fans throughout the region were asking themselves, can the Patriots come back another time? The answer was yes. Steve Grogan established himself as a comeback folk hero. Once by air.
Look out! Here's Grogan throwing deep downfield. Lynn Dawson, touchdown Patriots. Now it's Greg Hawthorne, a flea flicker. Steve Grogan throws the flea flicker 28 yards for a touchdown to Greg Hawthorne.
And once again, in patented fashion, by land.
Second down and goal to go from the 1-yard line now. Weathers and Tutupu in the backfield. Here's the turn. Grogan rolls out to the right. Quarterback keeper. He's in. Touchdown!
14 fourth quarter points. Final score, Patriots 17, Dolphins 13. New England now winners of 4 in a row and a 6-3 overall record. In Week 10 of the regular season, the hapless Indianapolis Colts came to Foxborough. But in a scoreless first quarter, the Colts did not appear too hapless, at least defensively. No scoring in that first quarter, and Indianapolis, in fact, drew first end zone honors on a Mike Pagel to Pat Beach TD pass. They missed the extra point. It was 6-0. The Pats came back to take a 7-6 halftime lead on a Steve Grogan to Stanley Morgan 19-yard touchdown pass. It would be the first of 34 unanswered New England points. In the wild second half, a Franklin field goal, the first of 2 by Tony. Then in that third quarter, Grogan and Fryer connected.
7:16 left, third quarter, split backfield, strong left formation. Grogan short drop, loops it into the end zone. Touchdown! Patriots! Irving Fryer takes it in, and New England jumps out to a 16-6 lead on a 5-yard pass play.
And Fryer again on a 78-yard punt return off a boot by Ron Stark.
Irving Fryer is deep. Stark gets the snap, puts it out of there. It's off a pretty good kick. Fryer's got to wait for it at the 24, cutting to the right. He's over the 25 to 30. He's at the 35 to 40, the 45 to 50. He's down to the 45 to 40. He's going to go all the way. He's on the turnpike. Fryer 10-5, touchdown.
John Carlson on the call. That made it 24-6. Tony Collins scored along with a Franklin boot, and it was 34-6. A late-game TD and safety by the Colts proved meaningless, and New England had won its 5th straight, convincingly 34-15 over Indianapolis, and now we're playing 700 football and still in the thick of the AFC East Division race.
The Johnson Collection.
The Patriots began the stretch drive of the regular season at the noisy Seattle Kingdome. The final 6 weeks would mean 4 away games, the first 3 straight on the road. At the time, no one really knew it, but these games would provide excellent preparation for the Patriots and what was to come in postseason. The Seahawks game was a must-win, though, for the Pats to remain in contention for the AFC East Division crown. And win it they did. Irving Fryer an end-around touchdown. And Steve Grogan continued his mastery at quarterback with a TD toss to Craig James. New England put it away with this key late fourth quarter interception by safety ready Freddie Marion.
Craig, he drops, looks out to the right, now fires. This one's deflected, intercepted. It's picked off. Coming up on the left side and flying is Fred Marion over the 40, the 50, the 45, the 40, down to the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20. Fred Marion is down and out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
An 83-yard return by Marion is called by WEEI's John Carlson. That set up Grogan's second touchdown pass of the ball game.
2:47 left in the game. Second down and 8 for the Patriots at the 13-yard line. Grogan's back looking to throw. Fires this one to Fryer. Touchdown!
That won it 20-13 over the Seahawks, and the red-hot Patriots were now 8-3 on the season and winners of 6 straight. The ups and downs of the regular season drive to the playoffs is next when the road to the Battle of New Orleans continues on this Super Sunday. In Week 12, the Patriots met the Jets at the Meadowlands, a showdown to resolve the lead in the AFC East Division. This day at Giant Stadium, the defenses were fired up. The Jets took the first quarter lead on 2 Pat Leahy field goals. Tony Franklin countered to make it 6-3. Then potential disaster struck. The man who had helped inspire New England to 6 straight victories was down. Steve Grogan had been hit from behind on the left leg. It was broken. Exit Grogan, re-enter Tony Eason after 7 weeks on the sidelines. The Jets made it 13-3 in the third quarter on a Ken O'Brien to Wesley Walker 88-yard touchdown pass. But the Patriots came back behind Eason in the final period. On this scoring play is called by John Carlson.
Patriots first down, 10 in Jets territory at the 29 slot to the left side, split backfield. Eason, the quarterback, takes the drop. Deep one, looks upfield, throws for Cedric Jones. Touchdown! 29 yards. Eason to Jones.
And the Patriots tied it at the end of regulation play on a Franklin field goal, 13-13, and headed for overtime. The key play in OT, Kurt Sohn's 46-yard punt return to the Patriots 15, setting up Pat Leahy's third and deciding field goal of the game.
Here's the snap. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it rockets downfield, and it is good. The Jets have won in overtime, 16-13 over the New England Patriots at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. The New York Jets have taken over first place. Eastern Division.
Now 8-4, coming off that heartbreaking loss to the Jets, the Patriots travel to Indianapolis to face the Colts for a second time in the season. Now the Pats needed to bounce back to remain in the AFC East race. And bounce back they did in a high-scoring affair, 38-31. Tony Eason tossed 3 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Stanley the Steamer Morgan and 1 to Irving Fryer. Craig James' scoring run in the third quarter broke a 17-all deadlock at halftime, and this short run in the final period provided New England with a game-winning points.
So the Patriots are just a yard away. They lead 31-24, 5:28 left. Here's Eason now, short yardage turn, pitches it back, coming to the left side, and wide through into the end zone for the touchdown is Mosi Tutupu.
The Patriots over the Colts on the road, 38-31. For the second straight week, however, New England lost a starter. This time, defensive end Ken Sims having his finest year as a Patriot, a broken leg. Rookie Garen Barris, who had been alternating at the other end spot with Julius Adams, would now move over to take Sims' place and continue his fine play, fine enough to make the National Football League All-Rookie team. Week 14 of the regular season would bring the 7-6 Lions to Sullivan Stadium to face the 9-4 Patriots. Detroit had won all its games at the Pontiac Silverdome over some of the league's elite clubs and lost all its road games so far. Head coach Raymond Berry had real concerns entering the final 3 weeks of the campaign.
Well, I hope our defense continues to improve like they have been doing every week for the last 3 months, and they're playing extremely consistent football. When your defense is playing that sound, it gives any team a chance to win. And offensively, we would like to be scoring more points. On special teams, we would like to limit the returns that happen in the game to none. If occasionally somebody's going to break one on you. And overall, our special teams have performed real well all year long. But we would like to, I know, get more points on offense.
Berry worked on those concerns with his coaching staff and players. It produced a 23-6 victory over the Lions. Tony Eason 2 touchdown passes and Tony Franklin 3 field goals. The defense was rock solid and the special teams continued its ball hawking improvement. The 23 points posted by New England against Detroit would be the lowest output for the remainder of the season. Next up, the now red-hot Dolphins at the dreaded Orange Bowl in Miami. In Week 15, the AFC East Division title boiled down to a battle at the Orange Bowl in Miami between the Dolphins and the Patriots. Each team came into the fray at 10-4. Miami with a 5-game win streak and 17 straight triumphs at home over New England. In a steady rain on this Monday night, December 16th, the Dolphins would open up a comfortable 27-13 lead midway through the fourth quarter of play, even though Dan Marino would finish with only 1 TD pass and less than 200 yards in the year. But the Patriots' season-long fourth quarter comeback pattern would continue, starting with this score.
7:44 left in the game. Patriots from 1 yard out. Motion coming back to the left. U-turn. It's Hawthorne. Pitch goes right. Mosi Tutupu following the block. Dives into the end zone. Where's the signal? It has not been shown. There it is. It's a touchdown, New England.
That made it 27-20. Then a special teams touchdown tied it 14 seconds later, as Cedric Jones recovered a Lorenzo Hampton kickoff fumble in the end zone, 27-all. The Dolphins, though, came back with a late Fuad Reve's 47-yard field goal, his third of the ball game. Still with time left, the Patriots used the 2-minute drill to move downfield, only to have their hopes for a victory dashed by a Glenn Blackwood interception of an Eason pass at the Miami 10-yard line. The Dolphins ran out the clock for a 30-27 triumph and the AFC East Division lead with 1 week remaining in the regular season. Realistically, the best the Patriots could hope for now was an AFC wildcard playoff berth. It's Week 16, the finale of the regular season for the Patriots, at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. At 10-5 in a year of must-win games, the Patriots needed this one to qualify as an AFC wild card. If New England faltered today, the 11-5 Denver Broncos were waiting in the wings to fill that wild card playoff slot. The Bengals had nothing to win, eliminated from the AFC Central race the day before when Pittsburgh lost, handing the Browns the crown, and Cincinnati had nothing to lose either. The two clubs battled through three quarters with the Pats up 20-16. New England's big fourth quarter offense came through once again. The big play, this Tony Eason to Craig James TD toss with blocking blade Tony Collins leading the way. John Carlson calls it.
Patriots have a slot to the left. It's third down and 5 at the 12. Eason swing pass right. Craig James trying to turn on the speed at the 10. 5. He's going to go in for a touchdown. Craig James swing pass right. It was a 3rd and 5 from the 12-yard line, and he went the distance down the right sideline for the score.
Cincinnati made the Sullivan Stadium crowd squirm by closing to within 4 points on an Esiason to Collinsworth TD pass, 27-23. But the Pats pulled a little bit of daring do that paid big dividends.
Short yardage turn, 4th down and a foot. Here's the turn, the handoff, and still going as Robert Weathers down to the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, 15, 10, 5. He's got it all. Touchdown, Robert Weathers. They put the game away. Going for it on 4th down and a foot. They put the game away. The Patriots are now leading the Bengals 33-23.
A 40-yard scamper by Weathers off right tackle. The 34-23 victory gave New England an 11-5 record and a wild card postseason date with the Jets the following week at the Meadowlands in New Jersey.
The Johnson Collection.
Before pressing on to the playoffs, let's reflect for a moment on the regular season. Beyond the coaching staff, beyond the talented group of players, maybe the best hallmark of this 1985 Patriots team could be captured in one word: depth. Look at the offensive line. Center Pete Brock out 5 weeks. Guard Ron Wooten out 2 weeks. Tackle Darrell Haley out for the season. John Hanna playing with a pinched nerve for several weeks and out of the Chicago Bears regular season game. Filling the gap, Guy Morris, Paul Fairchild, Art Plunkett, and what a season-long job at tackle by Steve the House Moore, all 310 pounds of him. General health reigned over the depth at running back and at wide receiver, the defense and special team squads. Rookie Jim Bowman and Rod McSwain added strength to New England's secondary when needed. And, in fact, the Patriots did improve measurably its pass rushing ability in '85 with a rejuvenated 37-year-old Julius Adams in his final and possibly finest season. Rookie Garen Barris out of Stanford with his quickness. Ken Sims, till he went down with a broken leg, his best year yet. And Lester Williams and Dennis Owens at nose tackle, all aiding a very strong linebacking core of Tippett, Nelson McGrew, and Blackman. The Patriots' 11-5 mark produced 8 All-Pros. John Hanna, Brian Holloway, and Craig James from the offense. Tippett, Nelson, Raymond Claiborne, and Fred Marion from the defense, plus putt returner Irving Fryer. James became the second leading single-season rusher in Patriots history with 1,227 yards. But the biggest factor of all for these New England Patriots was this: they had learned as a team not only how to win, but how to win the big ones. Next up, those AFC playoff games on the road to the Battle of New Orleans, the Patriots' prelude to Super Bowl 20. Under the present NFL system of postseason play, New England had never won a playoff game. That was to change this day. Tony Franklin's field goal posted the Pats to a 3-0 first quarter lead. The Jets took the lead in the second period on a Johnny Hector 11-yard TD pass reception. Franklin towed another one to make it 7-6. Then Tony Eason hit Stanley Morgan with a scoring pass to give New England a 13-7 halftime lead. The Patriots put the game away with 14 points in the third quarter. Another Franklin field goal, his third of the game, which proved to be the winning points. Then, seconds later, this special team score, as called by John Carlson and John Morris.
Hector back to the 3, over the 5, the 10, coming to the right side, the 15 gets hit. He's going to be down at about the 17. Look out, a flag. Johnny Rembert picks up the ball and runs into the end zone. He's celebrating as he goes into the end zone, but there's a flag on the play that, of course, came ahead of the pickup by Rembert, who made the hit on the play and loosened the ball, but got a feeling somebody might have gotten a hand on a face mask, and let's find out about that.
I thought it was a good play by Rembert. I didn't see any face mask on it, John. I think it's going against the Jets. They're a little upset.
During the return, number 81, receiving team.
Whoa.
Philippines high.
touchdown. It is a touchdown.
And that sealed it. The Jets tried to come back on a Pat Ryan and Mickey Schuler TD pass, but that would be the only score allowed in the second half by the New England defense. Franklin closed the scoring with his fourth field goal of the game. Patriots 26, Jets 14. From the Meadowlands, New England moved across the country for its next test, an AFC semifinal showdown with the rough and tumble Raiders. The Los Angeles Coliseum is not the best place to take on the Raiders. In fact, there is no really good place to face the Raiders, especially at playoff time. The Raiders were the AFC's odds-on favorites to tackle the Bears, at least among the experts, come Super Bowl time. When last the Raiders met the Patriots in Foxborough, LA won it, you'll recall, 35-20. So for a second straight week, the wildcard Patriots were decided underdogs. But on this January 5th, New England was to gain a huge measure of revenge for all the transgressions absorbed in this and prior seasons at the hands of the Raiders. The Pats led in the first quarter 7-3 thanks to a Tony Eason to Lynn Dawson TD pass. But the Raiders took a 17-7 lead in the second period on Mark Wilson's pass to Jesse Hester and a scamper by Marcus Allen. New England, though, came right back to tie it on a Craig James TD run and a Tony Franklin field goal, only to fall behind again at halftime with just seconds left before the end of the first half on Chris Barr's field goal. 20-17 Raiders. For a second straight week, the Patriots won a playoff game in the third quarter, thanks to Tony Franklin's field goal to tie it, and seconds later, the Patriots' special defense kickoff team did it again.
Here comes Franklin to the football, hammers it, it's high end over end, coming down to about the 5-yard line. It's fumbled by Fulton Walker. He picks it up at the 10 and starts out to the left. That messes his timing up. Check it. He fumbles again. There's a loose ball. It's in the end zone. They're diving for it. There's a touchdown for the Patriots. The ball was fumbled. It was Sam Seal who fumbled the football.
The TD recovery was credited to Jim Bowman amid a half-dozen teammates in the end zone, and that Bowman TD won it 27-20. The Patriots defense shut out the Raiders in the second half of play, and in tandem with the special teams, created 6 turnovers that led to 17 New England points on the day. So for the first time in Patriots history, it was on to the AFC Championship game against the defending title holders, the Dolphins. The Orange Bowl in Miami, where New England had lost its last 18 straight, where the Dolphins were 5-0 in AFC title games, and where Miami currently had won 21 of its last 22. New England fell strongly. It should have won here in December, that 30-27 loss a month prior, a game that handed the Dolphins the AFC East Division crown. Since then, Miami had beaten Buffalo to end the regular season, and Cleveland barely 24-21 in a comeback in the AFC semifinals. On this January 12th, in the franchise's biggest game in 26 years, the Patriots would not only break the Orange Bowl jinx, they would dominate the Dolphins. Tony Eason, 3 masterful short TD passes to Tony Collins, Derek Ramsey, and Robert Weathers, all 3 covering a total of 7 yards. But it was the Pats' bone-crusher running game that won this one. 260 yards on the ground, exemplified best by this Robert Weathers long gainer.
Patriots have a strong left formation. The Dolphins have 3 down linemen. Here's the turn. Handoff. Weathers, left side. Tries to turn it up and does. Breaks over the 50 to the 45 to the 40. He's down to the 35 to the 30 to the 25. Cuts it right 10 to the left, down to the 15 to the 10. Robert Weathers is knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line. After a great run coming down the left side, he bounced off tacklers at midfield. He bounced off them again down near the 20. Robert Weathers finally taken out of bounds by William Judson. 44 yards on the play.
WEEI's John Carlson on the call. The winning points, as it turned out, came early. That TD pass to Ramsey in the second quarter. New England led at the half 17-7. Eason and Weathers made it 24-7 in the third quarter. Early in the fourth, Dan Marino connected with Tony Nathan to make it 24-14. With the Orange Bowl crowd now calling for a comeback. It was not to be. Mosi Tutupu capped the Pats scoring with a short burst, and Raymond Claiborne's interception of Dan Marino ended Miami's final hope with 2 minutes left. The Pats ran out the clock for their first ever AFC title, 31-14. Once again, New England's defense and special teams created 6 turnovers, leading to 24 of their 31 points in this game, and 16 in all in postseason. In 3 playoff games, the Patriots defense allowed the Jets, Raiders, and Dolphins a grand total of 2 touchdowns. That's 14 points during second half play. New England, 14-5, would now enjoy the fruits of its labor. The Super Bowl in New Orleans against the 17-1 NFC champion Chicago Bears. I'm Bob Melvin. The concluding segment of The Road to the Battle of New Orleans, a review of the Patriots' 1985 AFC Championship season, comes your way next. Patriots pride has burst wide open throughout New England the past 5 weeks. Part of that pride put to song in this home folk rendition of Johnny Horton's big 1960s hit, offered by Burns and Kaufman, courtesy of B&K Music in Medway, Massachusetts.
In 1986, we're taking us a trip, along with Colonel Berry down the mighty Mississippi. We'll take along the defense and we'll bring the special teams, and we'll beat the Bloody Bears in the town of New Orleans. We'll score with a run and the Bears will keep it coming. No, there won't be as many as there was a while ago. We'll score once more and they'll begin to run in up the Mississippi to the town of Chicago. We looked on the TV and we saw Chicago win, but when they play the Patriots, they'll need some aspirin. They brag so much and we heard them try to sing, but they'll be a-crying when we wear the super rings. We'll score on a run and the Bears will keep it coming. No, there won't be as many as there was a while ago. We'll score once more and they'll begin to run in up the Mississippi to the town of Chicago. Old Barry says we can take him by surprise. We'll run James up the middle and have Collins going wide. Eason will hit Morgan or Ramsey with a pass. Then we'll hit him with our special teams and kick him in the ass. Astro Turf will score with a run and the Bears will keep it coming. No, there won't be as many as there was a while ago. We'll score once more and they'll begin to run in up the Mississippi to the town of Chicago. Yeah, we ran through the Jets and we ran through the Raiders. Then we squished the fish, now we're in the Superdome. We'll run so fast that the Bears won't catch us. We'll win the Super Bowl and we'll bring the trophy home. We'll sack McMahon and Peyton, we will pound. Then we'll grab Refrigerator and we'll throw them to the ground. Hannah, Grogan, Adams, Nelson, they will wear the crowns. The Windy City team will be blown out of town. We'll score with a run and the Bears will keep it coming. No, there won't be as many as there was a while ago. We'll score once more and they'll begin to run in up the Mississippi to the town of Chicago. Yeah, we ran through the Jets and we ran through the Raiders. Then we squished the fish, now we're in the Superdome. We'll run so fast that the Bears won't catch us. We'll win the Super Bowl and we'll bring the trophy home.
Indeed, what an impossible dream season for the Patriots. Records abound, not the least of which is most games played in the season, most victories, most playoff victories, and of course a first Super Bowl appearance in 26 years. How do you pick an MVP? The answer, you can't. There's James, Eason, Grogan, Hannah, Adams, Tippett, Nelson, Marion, Claiborne, just to name a few key players. In all, a total of 8 pros from this AFC Championship team. Tony Eason says there is an MVP, a most valuable person on this team. He's head coach Raymond Berry. Eason says he's meant a lot.
Everybody can relate to Coach Berry. He was a player one time. He has a good way of communicating, an honest way of communicating, and a relaxed way. And I think everybody can relate to that, understand what he's saying, and go in the same direction.
Now, entering Sunday Super Bowl 20, the Patriots have won 14 of 19 games this season, 12 of their last 14, with a 6-game win streak at midseason, and right now a stretch of 4 straight. Why? The answer is in Berry, who brings hardcore dedication and determination to the game and to his players.
You can just talk so much, you can tell them so many things. I said, the next thing you got to do is go out and do it. I said, if you want to become a competent team, well, go out there and do it. That's how you get confidence. You go out and accomplish something, and I can't do that for you, you know, and it's up to you. Go out there in the field and do it.
Raymond Berry, Hall of Fame wide receiver with the Baltimore Colts, NFL assistant coach, and now in his first full season as a head coach, has put the Pats in the Super Bowl. Berry and his capable coaching staff took a talented group of football pros and mixed in the missing ingredients that led to an NFL title shot: desire and execution. The New England Patriots in 1985 have brought the region's pro football fans out of the woodwork. All that remains is the crowning glory of an NFL championship. Let's go to a pair of Patriots veterans to summarize this season. First, linebacker Steve Nelson, who does not like the tag of being called a Cinderella.
No, I don't. I think we have kind of a Rocky factor going into it right now. We've been on the road and underdogs in 3 straight games, and the last 5 weeks we've had to fight for our life to get in the playoffs now into the Super Bowl. So Cinderella, I don't think so, because I think we've earned where we are, right?
Yes, the Patriots have earned exactly where they are. Maybe wide receiver Stanley Morgan sums it all up best regarding experts and fans this season, always drawing on the past to predict the Patriots' present.
Nobody believed in us. Nobody believed that
that this team would do what we did. They kept looking for us to choke. And they kept looking for the old New England Patriots, but we knew what we could do.
Yes, the New England Patriots have arrived, and in the process aroused an entire region. These Patriots also have given owner Billy Sullivan an impossible dream he's waited 26 years to realize. Kickoff time is now just about, less than 2 hours away at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans. Regardless of the outcome against the Bears by the Patriots today in New Orleans in Super Bowl 20, let it be known that they'll arrive home at Green State Airport in Warwick, Rhode Island. Scheduled arrival time tomorrow night, 7:50 p.m.
The Johnson Collection.